Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we're taking a look at DC Comics Multiverse from Mattel. It's the Collect and Connect Wave Killer Croc, and more importantly it is Katana. Now, at the time that I am filming this, I've already filmed the box intro for Robin, and I can't remember what I said because I filmed that about a month ago, but I ordered all of my figures from PaulMartStore.com. You see them on Facebook and things like that. That's where some of us, and quite a few of us, have been getting our Mattel figures for these last couple waves. I actually bought this in the store at the time that, like I said, I'm filming this. I've got confirmation that 3 of the figures from this wave have shipped. I bought Red Robin. I wanted a second one for a different... I wanted to have like the Detective Comics James Tynion set up in one spot, and I wanted to have Red Robin in another Bat Family setup, or Teen Titans or something like that. So I wanted 2. Now I'm not planning on having 2 Katanas, but the figures that have shipped so far from Paul Mart Store are Red Robin, Red Hood, and Alfred. I'm still waiting on confirmation for Dick Grayson Batman, Katana, KG Beast to be shipped. I'm assuming he's going to, but I don't know if it's just a nervous feeling in the pit of my stomach. Something tells me that I'm not going to get them right away, or God forbid something could happen wrong. Now, watch. At the time I'm filming this, when I shut off the camera, I'll get an email that says, my last 3 figures have shipped. I didn't order the whole case in one shot. I ordered Red Robin singly, and then I ordered Red Hood and Alfred as a pack, and then I ordered Dick Grayson Batman and Dick Grayson Nightwing separately from 2 different waves, and then I ordered KG Beast and Katana as a 2-pack, because I waited till payday and just did 2 figures at a time, as it were. So, not that's why you're here. So what I'm planning on doing, if everything goes according to plan, knock on the review table, is when I get the order from Paul Mart Store, I will take that figure to Walmart and then get my money back, because I bought this one from Walmart, and obviously Walmart's not going to be able to tell the difference. Like, oh, this came from one location, the barcodes are going to work the same. I'm not trying to pull anything over. I just don't need to, and I really want money back for future figures. So now I got all of that out of the way, and you won't make any sense, or you really won't care watching this. You're like, hey Rob, let's get into the figure review. And so that's what we're going to do right here. So we're looking at the blue packaging that has been through Mattel's DC figures for the last few waves of figures. The Aquaman movie figures, Shazam figures, the 80th anniversary set of Poison Ivy, Joker, and the 89 Batman films. This is also actually part of the Batman 80th anniversary, so it's got the stamp up there. And we see the window shot here of Katana, and I'm trying to do figure out where all these images came from. I haven't really done much research on Katana to find out where she came from, this particular box art here. So we can see the Collect and Connect piece in there is the torso. We got an extra hand. Her Soul Taker, which I'll get into that once we get the figure out of package. So the window opening, we've seen all the dressing before, and then there are the rest of the figures that make up this particular wave. So if you want to read the bio, we'll raise the camera right here. Here we go. There is the bio, but I'm going to read it for you. It says, the vigilante samurai Katana uses her deadly mystic sword, the Soul Taker, to battle evil and as the captain of the Suicide Squad. Excuse me, because I couldn't read there. So the other figures that make up this wave are KG Beast, Katana, which we're looking at, Alfred, and I just realized it on the package here. The packaging for Alfred shows Alfred with gray hair for the comic book version, and we know that's not what he looks like if you've been watching any other reviews or have seen images from San Diego Comic-Con. And then we've got Red Hood, Dick Grayson Batman, and Red Robin that I've already filmed the box portion of the review, but I will probably do them in order as they were released. So I'm talking about Red Robin as if you've already seen it, but I've already filmed it, so neither here nor there. But you buy all the figures and you can put together the massive Killer Croc. So let's get this figure out of package and we will get a closer look at Katana. All right, here is Katana out of package, and I did a little switcheroo, can't even talk, did a little switcheroo already. And that is with her Soul Taker, or her ninja sword, or her katana, however you want to describe it. I know it's her Soul Taker. So this is the one that came in the package. It is Bent City. Now, a little peek behind the camera. Like I said, I ordered all my figures from Paul Mart's store. And I was getting a little antsy, and I wasn't getting confirmation of some of the figures. So I thought, well, if I go out to Walmart and I see any of the figures out there, maybe I'll pick them up. And then when I get the ones from Paul Mart, I'll just take those figures to the store and then, you know, sell them back to Walmart, get my money back, yada, yada, etc. The day that I did that was the day that I got confirmation that KG Beast and Katana, because I ordered them in like sets of 2, with the exception of Robin, and I did something else with Dick Grayson Batman, and I'll explain that once we get there. So I had opened up one figure already. My wife was like, well, why don't you just wait till the other one gets here and then pick the best one out of the package? And I'm like, well, they're probably going to be the same. Well, the one that came from Paul Mart's store, that sword was not bent. But this just seems so small in comparison to the sword I have her with right now. Yes, a little hot water will fix that out, but the other thing, and I'll show you here, is that her hand, we're on to accessories right now, it looks so big in her hand. That's what she said. And I apologize. It looks so small of a sword from what I traditionally see her use in comics. And it's more of a sword like this. So if you know your multiverse figures well enough, this is the sword, the katana sword, the ninja sword, so we did their ninja, for the Batman Ninja Collect and Connect, which I am not completing that Collect and Connect. Now, I'd like to get John Stewart out of that wave, but that's the only other figure I really want. So the Batman Ninja figure wasn't a figure I was really wanting to collect. And I have the scabbard that this also goes in for the Batman Ninja. And part of the things that people didn't like about it was that you could not hook this onto Ninja Batman anywhere. You'd have to hold it or wedge it under his arm, kind of something like this, or, you know, however. So I got to thinking, like, well, this is going to go in a parts bin, and maybe I'll use it for Damien or something like that. And then this figure got announced, or, you know, was coming out, and until I started seeing reviews, people talking about this sword, and mine was dinged up, I'm like, I just don't like the look of it. She doesn't hold on to it very well. It's very loose in there, because her hand is a lot smaller, and it can't hold something that big. That's what she said. So, man, I'm going to make bad jokes this whole thing. So, I thought, this is going to be the perfect sword, and this is a katana sword. And this is katana. And this would be something that she would use. And depending on who's drawing her, they are showing her with this sword. This type of sword. So, yes, this is her rebirth sword. And usually you only really notice it because of this pointed edge. But traditionally in the comics, this is what she would use. And I'm glad I forget who this came with. Nightwing, maybe? But it is cool that she holds on to it very well. I wish she had another open hand. I had her posed, you know, like this. You know, with the right bit of posing, it does look like, you know, she's holding on to the sword. So, nonetheless, this works really well. And I thought about taking it a step farther, even though this slot for the Batman Ninja sword is open here. I thought, front-facing on the figure, a little bit of sticky tack or something. I don't know if I really want to glue it in case I ever want to take it off, but a little bit of tack of some type. I could put the scabbard on her back like it should be, and then she could hold on to the ninja katana sword, can go in there. I mean, just looking at her like that, that's not too bad. Now again, from the back, I mean, I don't know how many of us have our figures, you know, posed backwards, maybe in a fighting thing. Then maybe if I was doing some ACBA type photos, or just, I might do something like this to turn it around, because if it's sticky tack, I could put it either way. But if she's front facing on the shelf and I don't have her holding her sword, although let's be honest, I probably will. I think this is a good way to use this piece. And maybe if you do have the Batman Ninja, get a little sticky tack and just stick it to Batman's hip so it's like that. But I think it would work well on Katana. But nonetheless, if I don't do that, then I'm at least going to use the sword by itself. And again, I'll probably have to heat up the hand because I had her with the other one for so long until I decided to use this sword that I kind of stretched that hand out. But that's an easy fix. Hot water, then a little cold water, and well, that'll fill that right up. But let's take a look at the rest of the figure really quick before we do that. Here is the Collect and Connect piece for Killer Croc. So looking at torso-wise, this is going to be a massive, massive figure. Again, this is not the first review you're probably watching of this, and since my channel's been kind of quiet of lately, you've probably seen a number of these figure reviews. And this Killer Croc is going to be massive. So I'm not going to put him together yet, but you could just see from here, like, my gosh, that's going to be amazing to put him all together. So we'll set that off to the side. And we'll look at Katana. The other accessory she comes with is another closed fist. So if you don't want to have her with the sword, you could have her two fists and get some hand-to-hand combat. A nice looking figure. Again, I'll probably tell you right now, I like this figure a lot. She's painted very well. There's not much to her. The silver lines that's running right down through her chest, down to her abdomen and crotch area, and then going up over her breastplate here and the necklace or the little medallion. These are just painted lines. They're not sculpted at all, and it's a very, very fine line, and I don't really notice any paint getting out of the line. It goes up underneath the arm. It matches the other side really well, even on this side. Just a very, very well done figure. That's it as about far as paint apps go. Her mask is done very well. You can see the red pupils, which she has, offset by the black outlining around the eyes, and some blue highlights in her hair like they typically do. The camera lights are picking it up a little bit more. In person it's not as drastic as you're seeing here. Just a very, very solid figure. She's probably going to be at the bottom of the list, and that's not because she's a horrible figure. It's just that, you know, somebody's got to be at the bottom, and this is still a great figure. This is only the second Katana figure Mattel has ever made, and I'll bring up the other one. You can probably guess what the other one is, which is why a lot of us bought that figure thinking, well, it's going to be the only Katana figure we get, and then a year later, Mattel surprises us with this. So let's take a look at the articulation for Katana. The head rotates 360, is on a nice ball peg here. She can look up very well and looks down very well again. She's dealing with somebody like Damien. Where is he at here? You know, it's a smaller figure. She can look down on him. And this is the typical DC Universe Classic female body buck. There's no other sculpting other than her arm, gauntlet here, and her shoulder pad on this side. Other than that, and the medallion, everything else is just a straight paint, no indication of boot lines or anything like that. So this is typical for female DC Universe Classics figures, and just the multiverse in general. Has the upper diaphragm breast, you know, rotation, if you will, and that turns fairly well. It's a little loose, not, Chapman Films would say, you know, a little loose, not dog vomit, but it's a very good figure. She stands very well, even despite her small legs. And again, when we get down to the ankle rockers and things like that, that does really help this particular figure out. So the classic DC Universe Classics ball and socket here, a bend at the elbow and a swivel at the elbow, hinge at the wrist, a rotation in the wrist, and again, the hand does come off. But with Katana, I mean, let's be honest, her primary weapon is the Katana sword. So I appreciate having the fist if I want to do some punching action, but how am I really going to have her holding? Whatever she's going to hold is the sword. If you don't have that one, then you get this one, and I'd have to bend this one out. The one from Walmart, or the one from Paul Mart store, came in perfect, but I'd already opened this one up from Walmart, so no big deal. I'm not using that anyway because I'm using this. Here is the DC Universe Classics articulation ball peg for the women. Again, the butt is always nicely sculpted on the women, but it does usually hinder their rotation in the back part of her legs. There's an upper thigh cut, a double bend at the knee, which is kind of hard to do given the way, there we go, you can see part of that. I had her off camera. That one bends a little bit easier there. You can see that. Ankle hinge, and then the rocker. Again, solid figure. And Katana is one of those that I'm really surprised during all the versions of the DC Universe Classics and Multiverse, we just never got a proper one. If you wanted to complete a Batman and the Outsiders team, Metamorpho has really been the only one. They never really made a Geoforce, Katana, Halo, or anything like that. You could do more of a rebirth, and again, I'm going to work on this hand here, but for the purpose of this video. So I was talking about Katanas, another Katana figure. Let's bring up the only other Mattel Katana figure that they've made. And of course, that's the Suicide Squad movie Katana figure. Now, I don't even know if I have reviewed this figure yet. I don't think so. I got so far behind in just life in general. I stopped doing videos, as you guys know, for a good chunk of time, and then I'm coming back. So my goal is to go through all of my Mattel figures and give them some type of a proper review at some point. I may do a whole Suicide Squad wave, but this was another reason why I bought her. Maybe I did review her. I have to go back to my channel. But a reason I bought her is, as I was collecting the movie figures, I thought, well, if I get to the point like, well, the movies have come and gone, I was just going to throw her in my DC Universe Classics line of figures because we don't have a Katana. And now we do. So again, you want to talk about swords and everything. I mean, it's a little smaller here than what this one was, but as you could tell, it's essentially what this one is, the Batman Ninja Katana sword. That's her primary sword here. So I know Rebirth did a little bit of a design change in these two swords. The one that actually came with Katana, the Rebirth figure, is a little bit bigger than the movie sword, but again, these figures are scaled a little bit smaller anyway, but gives me a couple extra sword options if I choose to do so. Final thoughts here on Katana. Just, again, another great figure in this line. She's probably at the bottom of my list of figures, but again, that does not diminish what a really great figure this is. But, somebody's got to be at the bottom of the list, and there's just so many other ones that are so good that everybody's fighting for that top spot in this list. So today we've been taking a look at Mattel's DC Comics Multiverse Killer Croc Wave, the Rebirth Collect and Connect 80th Anniversary Katana. 80th Anniversary Batman Katana figure. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the BatmanUniverse.net signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.